NBA player props here on PrizePicks for Monday, March 13th. Before I get started, there's a link in the description below to sign up for PrizePicks, or you guys can use promo code TUFF to sign up. They will match 100% of your first deposit. We got the Discord link in the description where the main server is completely free. We as well have that Patreon link where I post all the plays I'm making on PrizePicks for each given sport that I do play. I do need to mention I'm not a gambling expert and this is not financial advice. Simply just plays I'm personally looking at making, hopefully give you guys some insight and analysis to make your own player prop decisions here. Yeah, we got a decent size slate today, so let's just get right into it, you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games on the slate overall. So again, about 14, half the NBA playing tonight. I got 2 plays that I'm targeting. So let's go. So the first one is going to be Killian Hayes over 7.5 assists. Now, last night this was at Killian Hayes over 8.5 assists. Last night this was actually at 7.5 assists. So I'm still playing this bump here at 8.5 assists. I just think, given the usage that Killian's going to have tonight, I think he could hit this pretty easily. So taking a look at this matchup here, Detroit versus Indiana. Indiana is going to be 3.5-point favorites here on the road. No Tyrese Halliburton, but Mathurin, McConnell, or Miles Turner. So definitely reserves here playing for Indiana, which I think should help Detroit keep this game pretty close here. But Detroit tonight is going to be without Marvin Bagley, Bogdanovich, Burks, Diallo, Jaden Ivey, and Isaiah Stewart. We're looking at a super small rotation here. Only Corey Joseph, RJ Hampton, and Durant really off the bench here. So Killian Hayes looking at playing 35 plus minutes in this matchup. Now, Killian just faced Indiana with this same scenario, and in that game he had 13 assists in that game, season high. Let's not look at rebounds plus assists. Let's just look at 13 assists here for Killian Hayes in that last matchup versus Indiana. So 13 assists, and in that game he had 25 potential assists. He played 36.9 minutes, made 68 passes, but 25 potential assists and converted 13 of those. But the key here is 25 potential assists here. All we need is 9 assists tonight. If we take a look at this matchup here, or for Killian Hayes this season, with Bogdanovich, Burks, Diallo, and Jaden Ivey all off the floor when he plays at home, per 36 minutes in a 93.1 minute sample size, he's averaging 12.8 assists per 36 minutes. Right, so we take a look at the odds here. Let's just refresh this again to see if these odds have moved at all for us. So at 8.5 here, he is over 7.5 minus 165, over 7.5 minus 184. So Vegas loving the odds for him to hit 8. Minus 118 consensus to go over 8.5 here. So again, obviously with the bump, the odds aren't going to be as great for us here. But again, I just think the matchup is too great given the volume Killian is going to have in this matchup as well. I think it's a great spot. So even over the last, let's just take a look at this. Over the last 30 days, Indiana giving up the 6th most assists to the point guard position, 8.92. We know Indiana loves to play fast here. I just think given the opportunity, volume, and Killian's a pass first player. He doesn't really know how to score that well. Like literally, he had 17 points in this game, but he just can't score the ball that well. Indiana plays some defense, not the greatest defensive team, but they do love to play at a fast pace, which I think suits Killian's game pretty well as well. But 8.5 assists here for Killian. We know he's a pass first player. We know he's gonna have massive volume here. 25 potential assists last game. Same scenario here at home. I like Killian Hayes over 8.5 assists. The second play I'm looking at is gonna be another assist prop. It's gonna be Jrue Holiday over 7 assists against the Sacramento Kings. So we've actually been targeting Jrue Holiday this season as far as assists, more specifically on the road. If we take a look at his game log this season, though, he's been averaging, like, his floor is super high, right? 6 assists. He hasn't had less than 6 assists in 19 or 21 of his last 25 games, and he's pushed this line or better in 19 of his last 25 games. If we take a look here at this hit rate on the road, right? We talked about, Jrue Holiday's assists go up on the road. On the season, he's averaging 7.7 assists on the road compared to 6.9 at home. But this hit rate on the road, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 pushed or better in 4 straight. But this is an extremely high hit rate for a player that plays on the road. 1, 2, 3, again, same sort of scenario on the road here. 7, we're looking at 18 of his last 25 games on the road. He's pushed this line or better. But I just think this matchup in what is the highest scoring over-under on the night at 244.5 with a 2-point spread on the road in Sacramento, it's a great spot for Jrue Holiday. Now we take a look at Jrue Holiday on the road over his last 7 games. He's averaging 14 potential assists, converting 7.6 of those. We know Sacramento loves to play fast, and they have the highest offensive rating in the NBA, 118.7. offensive rating, which again is the highest in the NBA. We know they love to play fast as well. Sacramento right here at number 9 in pace. Milwaukee still 11, so a little bit of a pace-up matchup, which I think, again, it should be a pretty fast-paced game regardless. The odds here for us as well, Drew Holiday over 6.5 is at -150 to go over 6.5. So again, we get that push potential at 7. He's listed at 7.5 on pretty much every other sports book here. So at 7, we do get that push potential. And even just recent point guards assist game log against the Kings. I mean, Chris Paul, his last 2 games versus the Kings, just 2 nights ago, Chris Paul had 16 assists. And if we take a look here at the top assist point guards, Kyrie had 7, Russell Westbrook had 10, Kyrie had 10, Westbrook had 14, Chris Paul had 16, and Chris Paul had 19 again. So it's a great matchup overall. Again, the highest over-under on the day here, Sacramento versus Milwaukee. Giannis, I believe, is currently questionable for this game. So, I mean, if Giannis misses as well, I think it gives Drew Holiday massive usage, and he is in the mix to return Monday. So again, yeah, there's a back-to-back here for the Bucks as well. This is the first half, so they could sit Giannis, which would even give Drew Holiday even more usage in this matchup. So I like Drew Holiday over 7 assists here against the Sacramento Kings. Killian Hayes over 8.5 assists against Indiana. Again, let me know in the comments below how you guys feel about these 2 plays. Drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and as always, let's cash.